You're all packed for that dream vacation. Your bags are by the door, your passport is ready, but one little thing is nagging at you and causing you some major stress: getting your essential medication through the airport security line. What if they single out your bag for a secondary screening? What if they start asking you about personal prescriptions in front of everyone? Or worse, what if they take something you desperately need right there at the checkpoint? The fear of a long delay, a public search, or even having your medication confiscated is enough to ruin a trip before it even starts. But here's the good news. There are clear rules to follow, and I'm going to walk you through the TSA's exact guidelines so you can breeze to the checkpoint without any drama. Let's go.
Dream vacations start here.
Before we dive into pills, liquids, or anything else, there's one unbreakable rule that you absolutely must follow. This is the single most important piece of advice in this whole video, so listen up. Always, and I mean always, keep your medication in your carry-on bag. Never ever pack it in your checked luggage. Think about it. Your checked bag is out of your hands for hours, sometimes even days. It can get lost, delayed, or sent to the wrong continent. Imagine landing for a 2-week adventure only to find out your suitcase with all your vital medication inside is missing. Now, instead of enjoying your first day, you're stuck on the phone with the airline, trying to track a bag and figure out how to get an emergency prescription in a place where you might not even speak the language. It's a total nightmare, and it's completely avoidable. Keep your medication in your carry-on, or even better, in your personal item that goes under the seat in front of you. That way, it's with you from the security line all the way to your seat. The TSA actually recommends this because they know just how often checked bags get delayed or lost. This isn't just a friendly tip, it's a fundamental first step to a stress-free trip. All right, let's start with the most common stuff: pills and solids. This covers your daily prescriptions, over-the-counter painkillers, vitamins, and supplements. For the most part, this is the easiest category to deal with. The official TSA rule is that you can bring an unlimited quantity of solid medication, like pills, through security. But this is where travelers get tripped up by the unwritten rules of the airport. The big question is always, do I have to keep them in their original prescription bottles? Officially, for domestic travel in the US, the TSA says you don't have to. That means you can use a daily pill organizer. However, and this is a big one, just because it's allowed doesn't mean it's the smartest move. TSA officers are trained to spot threats, and a container full of unlabeled, multicolored pills can look suspicious and trigger a secondary inspection, which is just going to slow you down. For the quickest, most painless screening, keep your medication in its original label container. That pharmacy label is instant proof of what the medicine is and who it's for. If you absolutely must use a pill organizer for domestic travel, bring backup documentation like a copy of your prescription or a doctor's note. This all changes when you travel internationally. Many countries are extremely strict and require all prescriptions to be in their original, clearly labeled bottles, and that the name on the prescription matches your ID. Using a pill organizer abroad is a major risk and can lead to confiscation or serious questioning at customs. When flying internationally, original bottles are non-negotiable. Let's move on to an area that causes the most anxiety: liquids. We've all been trained to follow the 3-1-1 rule. But here's the game-changing secret for medication. Medically necessary liquids are exempt from this rule. That's right. Your prescription cough syrup, eye drops, medicated creams, and even insulin are allowed in your carry-on in quantities greater than 3.4 ounces, and even breast milk and formula are included in this exemption as well. TSA allows you to bring a reasonable quantity for your trip. But this exemption has one critical catch that people often miss. You must declare these items to a TSA officer at the checkpoint. This is the number one mistake travelers make. If you just have a large bottle of medicated liquid in your bag and send it through the x-ray, it will get flagged and you're guaranteed a bag search. Here's how to do it right. First, separate your medical liquids from your regular toiletries. Second, as you get to the conveyor belt, take the bag of medical liquids out of your carry-on and place it in a separate bin for screening. Third, and most importantly, give the TSA officer a heads up. Just say, "Hi, I have some medically necessary liquids to declare." By doing this, you're showing them that you know the rules. The officer will likely screen them separately. This also applies to things needed to keep your medication cool, like freezer packs or gel packs. They're allowed even if they're slushy, as long as you declare them. Now let's talk about the items that require extra caution. First, restricted international medications. Some common U.S. medicines, including over-the-counter ones, are considered illegal or controlled substances in other countries. For example, stimulants for ADHD like Adderall, strong painkillers, and even some cold medicines with pseudoephedrine can be banned in places like Japan or the UAE. Bringing a banned substance even accidentally can result in confiscation, fines, or worse. Before any international trip, you must check the embassy website for your destination country to understand their specific rules. Some places require documentation or special approval to be allowed in the country. Next up is marijuana and CBD. This is a major point of confusion. TSA is a federal agency, and under U.S. federal law, marijuana is illegal. While TSA officers don't actively search for drugs, if they discover marijuana during a routine security screening, they are required to report it to local law enforcement. What happens next depends on the airport's local laws, but you are taking a significant legal risk. CBD products are a bit different. Hemp-derived CBD products containing less than 0.3% THC are federally legal and generally allowed by the TSA in both carry-on and checked bags. However, the key is that the product must be properly labeled, and TSA agents can't distinguish CBD from THC products just by looking. To be safe, keep CBD products in their original packaging and be prepared for potential extra screening. Beyond pills and liquids, many travelers rely on medical devices like syringes, insulin pumps, EpiPens, and inhalers. Just like medication, these are all absolutely allowed on a plane. The key, once again, is just being prepared. If you're traveling with syringes, you must also have the medication they're used for with you, and it's best to keep them clearly labeled. When you get to security, declare them to the officer. If you wear a device like an insulin pump or a glucose monitor, you won't have to remove it. Just inform the officer about your device before screening begins. They're trained on how to screen passengers with these devices, which might involve a quick pat-down, but you won't be asked to disconnect your equipment. The x-rays at security won't harm your medications, but if you have any concerns about a device, you can always request a visual inspection for both yourself and your supplies. So now you know the main rules, but let's cover a few pro tips that'll make you an expert and ensure you never have a problem. First, documentation is your best friend. While the TSA doesn't usually require a doctor's note for domestic flights, having one can be a lifesaver, especially if you're traveling internationally or carrying large amounts of medication. A simple letter from your doctor explaining your prescriptions can clear up any questions instantly. Second, get to know TSA Cares. This is a fantastic underused resource for travelers with medical conditions. It's a helpline you can call at least 72 hours before your flight to ask questions or request special assistance at the checkpoint. If you're feeling anxious, they can even arrange for a passenger support specialist to meet you at security and guide you through. You can fill out a form to request assistance, or you can call them at the following number. Third, organize for success. Don't just chuck your medication into your bag. Use a dedicated pouch for all your medical supplies. This way, everything is in one place. If you need to pull something out for inspection, you aren't digging around for it. This simple step shows officers you're a prepared traveler, which often leads to a much smoother screening. Traveling with medication doesn't have to be stressful. When you know the rules and pack properly, you can walk up to that security line with total confidence. Let's do a quick recap of the biggest takeaways. The golden rule. Always keep your medications in your carry-on, never in your checked bag. Pills and organizers. For domestic flights, you can use a pill organizer, but original bottles are faster. For international flights, original bottles are a must. Liquids and devices. Medical liquids over 3.4 ounces are allowed, but you have to separate and declare them to a TSA officer. Special items. Check your destination's laws for restricted medications and understand that marijuana is federally illegal to fly with, even between legal states. When you follow these steps, you're in control. You can get through security knowing your health is protected and your vacation is starting off on the right foot, and you just turn a point of stress into another simple part of your journey. And if you want to know other items that the TSA is cracking down on right now, check out this video next. And if you got value out of this video, let me know by hitting the like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you safe travels.